The show that shakes the Southland, Clemson Sports Talk. Lawton Swan with you again a Wednesday afternoon. Jonathan Blau from the Charleston Post and Courier joins us in just a little bit. We'll get back to some Matt Bockhorst here momentarily. By the way, my sister says, I like Bockhorst. Yeah, good kid. Fun interview. Let's see. What do we got here? James says, last year's DJ, okay, this year's DJ, the freshman quarterback might come in and play. I don't know. I try to break. Sometimes it's amazing, right? Like we talk about how like messages can come through. Text can be tough to interpret. It works the same on the radio. Tigers win, by the way, is in Germany at an Air Force base. Nice. Dean says, Swanee, DJ has no control or accuracy when he's throwing the football. Yeah, lots of just overhand, fast pitch. You know, he's a former baseball player. You kind of feel like you see a little bit of that from him. I'm definitely seeing him throw a lot off of the back leg, which would tend to make you sail the ball a little bit high because you got to get that plant foot, you know, going forward. You got to get that front foot stepping forward, and he's doing a lot of his back leg, which might be an indication that he's concerned about the offensive line as well. Okay, there's no doubt about that. As for Matt Bockhorst, here's what he said about the fact that DJ's having to take the boatload of the criticism. And again, this is a young quarterback. I think people forget that. I think it's even magnified because of the money that he gets from Dr. Pepper and Bojangles. I think that has magnified the disdain for these players immensely. Like, and look, I don't think people hate the person, but I think they hate the player, if that makes sense. They don't want that player in. And when that player is making a lot of money and he stink, oh, man, it goes sideways in a hurry. And I knew this would be a byproduct. It's one of the reasons that I said this is bad players. I know you like the idea of making money, and I'm sure that it's going to be great that you're going to make some incredible amount while you're in college. That is fantastic. But are you at 18 prepared for the criticism that comes along with it? Maybe they are. Maybe they'll adjust. But I worried about this from day one. Your boy Swanee, I worried about it. And DJ is taking the heat for it. From, oh, he ate too many Bowberry biscuits to how much soda has he been drinking, Swanee? He must be slurping down Dr. Peppers all day long. You can't imagine the text messages I got. Well, maybe you can. Maybe you send them. 803-450-0086. But here's what Matt Bockhorst said about DJ having to take the brunt of the criticism at this point in the season.
You know, first off, we're all human, DJ included, so that's the biggest thing, and nobody's immune from mistakes. But, you know, that kid comes in here and works as hard as anybody else, and his dedication and commitment and drive are unmatched. And I know that they see maybe a missed throw, or I know that there's throws from Saturday that DJ wants back, but DJ's improving, and DJ is a proven leader, and we have faith in DJ. I'll ride with 5 until it's over. I don't care. And so, you know what, if he's not doing as well as I think he should, then so be it. But I know that myself and the other guys around him, we've got the confidence in the world in him.
Matt Bockhorst. I'll ride with 5 until it's over. Will you ride with 5 until it's over? I mean, that's a legit question for you, Tiger Nation. I mean, are you ready to pull the parachute and go to Tyson Pumachan for the rest of the season? Like, that's the other thing. And again, you're going, Swanee, man, now you're beating up Tyson Pumachan. Pumachan is not as good of a quarterback as DJ, but there are moments, and in that game last weekend, I thought, well, maybe if you put Tyson in, maybe it wakes DJ up a little bit. And I threw out the hypothesis that possibly DJ's a little bit rattled from practice too, going up against Brent Venables in that defense. And I can only imagine, and again, I don't know exactly the difference in the tempo and the pace of play at practice versus a game, but I can only imagine being DJ Uiagalelei at practice, going up against Brent Venables, maybe getting dominated a little bit by the defensive coordinator, and then having to roll in to a game and have this level of concern about windows that you could throw the ball through, like all the things. Like you could say, well, that should make him better, right? Because he's not going to see a defense that good on Saturday. And we talk about that a lot with like the offensive line and things of that nature. And I would be interested to see what this defense does against this offensive practice. It's got to be just kids hide your eyes, right? But for DJ, I mean, if you get rattled, like I think about like Rick Ankiel, the pitcher, who got to the point where he could not throw a strike. Matter of fact, not only could he not throw a strike, he couldn't even throw the ball across the plate. He's throwing the ball in the stands. And I can't imagine what it would be like to go up against that defense all day at practice. And if that starts to rattle you and you get worried and worked up there, what happens when it's a game? Like, how do you adjust back? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. 803-450-0086, 803-450-0086. Luke says DJ's coach was his mentor forever. He now looks like a deer in the headlights. No proper guidance. And that's funny too, though, Luke, because somebody else said that yesterday, and people want to throw that off on Tony Elliott, but the offensive coordinator or the quarterback's coach is Brandon Streeter. And then you've also got this whole new criticism around Clemson. Speaking of Brandon Streeter and Tony Elliott, Clemson graduates, there's this other criticism going on from Clemson Tiger Nation about this program and Dabo Swinney. I mean, this is incredible given the run that they've been on, right? And maybe it is the vocal minority that we're hearing from. But after the Lynn J. Dixon situation and Lynn J. deciding to leave, here comes that same conversation. I'll tell you what it is next.
Lawton Swan here. And I know in sports, we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need